Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back! Over there's Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we're getting back into Shogun. This is obviously season 1. We're on episode 5, Broken to the Fist. Look, this series has been so much fun. You guys know how great it is. I just want to get right back into it.
I can't wait to see what's in store for John. So I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to get back into Shogun.
Yeah, that last episode was a banger. We saw the whole love interest thing finally play out, I guess you could say. Bloom. We saw the sun just go wild with their new cannon skills. I mean, that was a crazy episode. Can't wait to see
Toranaga's
what
son.
what the repercussions from all that is.
Yeah, the Toranaga sun and the pillowing finally happening, which you all, and I'm sure we all were just saying, just get to it already because they showed that in the first couple episodes. Let's go! Right up with some graphic shit.
Oh wow! Right out of the oh boy!
What a mess.
Sure, you're lifting with the legs. Oh boy, what's...
Oh great!
They starting things off that quick. Could they mobilize that fast in a day?
Well, so sometimes what would happen is when you had meetings and stuff.
I suppose you'd be waiting, ready to go.
Well, no, they would have somebody sit back,
Hero.
and look.
Yeah.
You know,
Bring in the heat.
like if you were sending 30 guys, and they'd have a couple up on a hill watching, and if things went south, they ride back.
Yeah.
That's their job.
I wonder if the sun's gonna go right up to him and be like, "Yeah, I did this."
He left! I knew it! I told you guys he made it! I knew it!
He lived.
So I'm kind of seeing the guy.
I told you, if we didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Oh, look at John looking, giving her the old side eye.
I knew it. I knew he made it.
Okay, so what if now she's and I know it was just one night of pillowing, but what if she was with child?
Oh well.
Oh well, that was
It's gonna make for some great TV, Dave.
Well, 10 months from now, that'll be an awkward conversation when it's born.
yeah.
I broke into the fist.
虎長を弾劾せねばならん。
賛同いたす。大坂から逃亡するなどと我らをコケにしたばかりかお世継ぎまで愚弄したも同然よ。
トラナガが退路を辞したことで弾劾できなくなったのは誠に無念じゃ。
Sorry, gents.
退路会議は動きを封じられてしもうた。
虎長の後任を氷結にて決めようではござらぬか。
There's a good shot.
池田殿がふさわしいと存ずるが。
あのポンクラか。
Oh, they're not going to agree. This is great.
それがしは前田殿を推挙いたす。
さすがに人ぐるめが悪いじゃ。あのような腐れ梅族と座を囲むくらいだ。
ご存知なかったのであろうが、前田殿は大野殿のいとこにあたるお方じゃ。
Oops.
彼が初めてか。
主人には私を連れて行く理由がござりませなんだゆえ。
文太郎の働きは神業であったの。20日でわしらの元へ戻りよった。
Okay, 20 days.
Okay, 20 days. All right, 3 weeks.
Boy, that's
恐る
still
べきことと存じまする。
this is a pretty short period of time.
安心の屋敷にとどまり、通詞の役目を続けてくれ。
では、主人は
文太郎にはそなたと同じく安心の屋敷に。
Oh. Three's company.
Yep.
二人のどちらにも使えられるであろう。
Oh, Jesus.
教えてくれ。
I got a bird,
根
Dad.
原上善を殺したのは我が息子の計りごとであったのか。
It sure was.
Yep.
It
Well,
was.
part of it.
父上
マリコ殿、この記事は暗示に使わす。わしからの例の印じゃ。
私へのお怒りは承知しております。
Upset. It's not the word I would use.
手なずけられん者などおらぬ。人を操り、獲物めがけて飛ばす術を身につけよう。そなたのために狩りをさせるのじゃ。
殿。
Didn't think of that, Dad.
そのことが飲み込めるので、そなたから大砲隊の指揮権を取り上げる。
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
yeah, we don't need him having that.
Matter of fact, we should take his swords away too.
It's just everything. Give him safety swords.
Here's a wooden sword.
Safety swords.
Here's a wooden sword.
Yep.
Nerf.
ご使者が参りました。
Oh, that's about the size you would need to have a head in it.
It is.
That is a
Oh,
good...
yeah, just look at him look at it like,
Yeah, that's an odd message.
Yep.
Yep.
As I live and breathe. The most precious gift there is. You see that? I do my part and the old man does his. Now we're getting somewhere.
You can't understand a word I'm saying, but when I was your age, one of my first chores was cleaning game. My father would poach from an estate in Chatham. Watch this. Mite kudasai. Now we'll hang it up for a few days to mature, maybe a week.
Oh.
Mature.
鳥は腐りむするぞ。
yeah,
お
thank
分かり
you.
でござりまするか。腐る。
Oh.
Yes, yes. There will be a terrible stench. But this is a gift from Toranaga-sama. It must be the best pheasant this village has ever prepared. Now, this next part is very important. No one is to touch this bird. Kokoro imashita ka? Kinzuru. Hai. Sawattara shinu.
She's gonna have that thing cooked in a stew pot in a couple hours.
戸田様がお見えでございまする。これは叔父上、無事にご生還そばされ何よりでござります。
マリコはどこじゃ。
虎長様の野人に参られました。呼びに行かせましょうか。
わしもここに通り寄せようと虎長様に仰せつけられたんだ。嫁が万人と同じ屋敷に暮らしていると聞き。万人の奥方とはどんなもんじゃ。
言葉でござりまするが、私は旗本の性質でございますゆえ、分かりかねまする。
Oh, threw it back at him.
Wow.
大坂に戻って双心なき旨を石堂に誓えと命じられたそうじゃな。
いつも通り全てお見通しでござりまするな。
どうなさるおつもりかな。
いや、うろう拙者は虎長様のもとに
Oh, of course.
虎長様と拙者は一連卓勝にござりまするゆえ。
そうかの。もしや長門をそそのかし上善らを攻撃させたのは
Oh, wrong guy.
Yeah.
Wrong guy.
さすれば指導への返答を遅らせることができ、これから先も双方につくことができるからの。
上手に大砲隊のことを報告させまいとしてご決断されたのでございます。
長門はあのような策略を思いつくほど賢くない。
My son's too stupid.
Yeah.
おいの仕向けたことかと存じまする。あの日の前夜、長門殿と酒を酌み交わしておりました我がおいの言葉で考えが浮かんだのでございましょう。
I mean, I
大耳は
told my nephew to tell him that, but
で懲らしめておきまする。
懲らしめると。何故敵を誘い出す妙案を編み出してくれた末頼もしき若武者をわしが懲らしめねばならんのじゃ。
Oh, wow. Okay, there's a twist.
奴らの本陣たる大坂で兵を挙げておればわしの負けは火を見るより明らかであった。じゃが甥御殿のおかげで奴らの方から討ち入れてここにおる我らを攻めるより他のうなったのじゃ。我らは守りを固めればよい。敵の数をすり減らしながらの。
おっしゃる通りにございます。それがしも同じことを考えていました。
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking.
安心と鍛錬しておる大砲隊の
Oh.
采配を任せると近江殿には当然の褒美であろう。
That's who's going to be in charge of the cannons now.
I understand your husband is to stay with us now. Is there anything you feel I should be preparing for?
Dinner.
Dinner.
Not that rotten old bird outside either.
Tell Toda-sama it's a relief he was able to escape Osaka, and an honor for him to have observed our cannon regiment today.
わしの夢はどんな大砲よりも早く長く飛ぶ。
Oh, perhaps we should have a friendly contest sometime.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Didn't even have to use
何やら屋
chopsticks.
敷の中で死んでおるのではないか。
失礼いたします。有限の支度が
Ah,
整いました。
served.
Oh boy.
That smile she did.
Now, for my esteemed guests on this wonderful evening, I am proud to present to you taste from my home country. We call it English rabbit stew. Mariko-sama.
We are particular eaters, Anjin-sama. It is our loss.
I gotta remember that one.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a particular eater. My loss here, guys.
Instead of saying I'm a picky eater,
Yeah.
particular eater. All right.
何たる
You
食べ
don't
る
need to sound.
Look how he
小
eats.
猿のようにおとなしく。
What do you say?
My husband comments on the way you eat your noodles. The sound you make while eating reveals the depth of your pleasure.
I know that's some customs or some cultures where that. We're gonna have a competition here.
Yep.
賢い猿じゃな。
Learns tricks fast.
Oh my God, are they gonna get like his tight bond?
They might.
You know where I come from, only women drink from a tiny cup like that.
They're gonna go back and forth.
もっと大きな杯でお酒を召し上がるそうでございます。
Right in the yard.
Oh, jeez.
Is that 3 fingers or 4?
I think he did
That's
6.
that's like 5, yeah.
This is how we
6,
drink.
7.
I mean, I like sake, but I'm not gonna do that. Holy man, good. Wow.
Are we gonna see both these guys plastered?
And then they're gonna be walking around singing shortly.
Or fighting.
Yeah.
Just be like, "Ah!"
He's gonna spit it out. No, is he? Oh, there we go.
Yep, that's what it's gonna turn into. He's like,
She's like, these are my two
choices.
the choices.
アンジュ様がもっと酒を飲んでどうせになったら亡くなりましたと答えよ。それからその肉汁は
To the sea.
That's nice getting some levity here.
Mariko-san, ask your husband if he'd share the story of his escape in Osaka.
oh, what if they let him go on purpose?
Well, I'd be curious to be
Yeah.
honest. Like, how the hell did you get out of there?
Well, I don't.
What
think
if he's like a double agent?
I don't think she wants him to bond with her husband.
大阪を脱出なさった武勇伝をぜひ聞かせてほしいとおっしゃっておられます。
Oh, let's get some flashbacks.
武勇は死人を飾るもの。物語は子供に聞かせるものじゃ。
Or if John got him drunk?
ならばこやつに戦の話を聞いてみよう。
Please listen. My husband is tired and has had a lot to drink. You must tell him a story. But choose your words carefully.
いいえ。戦、話、あなた。
来ない指を待て
Oh, he's gonna challenge him to an archery now?
Some drunken archer.
Yeah. See, I was wondering if John got him drunk on purpose to maybe try to get the truth out of him or something.
柱を選ばせろ。
He asks you to choose a post.
But he's going to shoot it.
The left or the right post.
Oh, man can't even see straight.
Please.
Oh, she is in such an awkward position.
Mariko-san, you should move. Mariko-san, move. Mariko-san.
Whoa.
Holy,
shit.
Mariko-sama, get out of the fucking way.
Oh, right through the same hole.
And he didn't hit the post.
Please tell him that while I understand that in this country, like mine, a man's wife is his property, but I believe strongly that his wife merits better.
Oh.
I don't think she's gonna say that.
Yeah.
持ち物であり、夫の意のままにして良いのでござりましょう。されと安心様は、
Oh, maybe.
妻をもっと丁重に扱ってはいかがかとおっしゃっておられます。
Oh boy.
Okay.
This is gonna lead to Serious angst.
笑わせやがお前を丁重に扱いじゃぞ。こやつにお前の氏筋を教えてやれ。
I'm to tell you about my family.
お前にどんな横島な汚れた血が流れておるのか。
Oh boy.
I am daughter of the late Lord Akichi Jinsai.
Mariko-sama, you don't have to do this.
衆殺しの逆進の娘じゃろうが。
Just make up a story. You'll never know the difference.
My father's lord was Kuroda-sama, ruler of Japan before the Taiko.
I don't think she can because half the names he knows, or all the names he knows.
Yeah.
Kuroda-sama was corrupt and murderous, and so my father killed him out of love for the realm. For this he was hunted along with my family. They all knelt before my father, who was forced to execute them one by one.
Oh no.
Before committing seppuku himself. Each year on the anniversary of my family's murder, I asked my husband to let me take action against this injustice. But I can do nothing, because my husband orders me to live.
Wow. Wow.
Sounds like a real peach to be around.
I ask you to remember the Eightfold Fence. Excuse me.
誰が下がっておいと申した。マリコ!
Oh, he's about to punch dude in the face.
Oh. Ooh, John's gonna handle this.
Oh, shit.
Get out of the way. Move, damn it.
叔父上はもうおりませぬ。
Get out of the way. Ima.
安人様にこのようなありさまをお見せしてはなりませんなんだ。出て行ってくださりませ。この家で騒ぎを起こされたら安人様の恥となりますゆえ。今さら何が恥でござりまする。この家は業の深い人間だらけじゃ。
Oh, he is pissed. That's not how we deal with shit where I'm from. He's getting his slippers on. He's gonna go mess some shit up. Drunk as doesn't
And he's
care.
got his pistole.
Now, what are you doing? Get up!
その方の屋敷の輪を乱してしまうな。成田ぞ。ご勘弁を。酒が優位。
You piece of shit.
Oh, that was the right pose.
Yeah.
What's this guy doing?
A little meeting where nobody can see.
藪重が村で患者を探し回っておるようじゃの。
拙者が名乗り出ること、何卒お許しくださいませ。
そうはいかん。お主の誠の名は頼むと飽な。
Ah,
患者の役目を続けよう。
ならばいかがいたしましょう。
その方の身代わりをあてがってやれ。
Find him
Dude, a
another.
lot is
そのまま放っ
happening
て
in
はおきま
this.
せん。
No, God.
oh my God! Look at that thing.
Where's Mariko-sama?
安人様お願いがござりまする。取り除いてはいけませぬでしょうか。
I don't understand anything you're saying. Where is she? You all right?
All of this is my doing.
Mariko-sama, your husband's brutality is no fault of yours.
We should not be seen together.
Ah, the pox on that.
The box on that.
I see you. You're disgust for him. If you want to be free of that shitless coward, then be free of him.
Still you understand so little.
Yeah, that's not their
Yeah.
ways.
I will give my husband nothing. Not even my hatred. Because that is what he merits.
Oof. That's an interesting take.
I would not expect for you to understand.
Oh, forgive me, but you'd die to avenge your father. You'd live in anguish to spite your husband. Which is it? What becomes of you?
What
fair.
becomes of you?
You'll never be free of this prison.
No, Anjin-sama. It is you who is imprisoned. If freedom is all you ever live for, you will never be free of yourself.
I'm not sure I quite understand that.
I didn't. Yeah, I did that.
I will honor my duty as your translator. But from this day forward, the only words we share will be from others' lips.
Oh. What about that trip to London we were going to
Look,
take?
we've all been here before. Maybe we shouldn't talk anymore. This has got to be the end of it. Just let it breathe a little.
I've never been in that situation before.
What is it?
Dude offed himself. Or they got rid of the bird.
Yep.
Tori, tare, totta desu ka?
栄次郎でござりまする。
The gardener. Old bastard should get a medal just for being able to climb up there. He's been up there long enough anyway. Ujiro, Yoroshi, yondekite.
栄次郎は死にました。
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Oh, because that's what he said.
You put that old man to death over a stinking, god-cursed pheasant.
Oh, she took it literally.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Go away. All of you!
Oh,
Wow.
Lord, when we were at sea, we discussed my training your army in European combat. I feel I have now fulfilled that duty. I ask that my ship and my men be returned to me so that I may leave and not return.
大砲隊を鍛えるという約束のことを申しておられます。その約束はもう果たしたと思うておいでで。それから、この国を永久に出ていきたいと仰せでございます。
See, this is where he calls her out and says, fine, I'll leave, and waits for her to say back, no, I didn't mean it.
There's a shadow on both of you.
He knows.
I'm troubled by your whole damn country. Ujiro, who died for nothing.
庭師の件で動揺しておられまする。
こわっぱじみた振る舞いをするでない。
It is my understanding that you ordered no one to touch that bird.
The bird meant nothing to me.
Your words gave it meaning.
Yep.
ざることには構っておれん。
A meeting was called with Muraji, who was the village headman, but he determined it was a house problem. So someone had to steal it and bury it. And Ujiro announced that he had been sick lately, so he volunteered. He died for a great purpose. It was a better end than he could have hoped for.
A pheasant. He died for a pheasant.
But it was his
I
call.
killed him. Lord, forgive me, I killed that old man.
There is no use dwelling on what cannot be undone.
Oh,
How can you
Jesus
believe that?
Christ.
We live. And we die. We control nothing beyond that.
She's hardcore.
Oh, look at the birds coming.
Oh, boy.
Boy.
Oh, an earthquake.
It's
Another earthquake.
just a baby earthquake.
Not
Look
really.
at that.
That's a big one. Landslide.
Holy shit. Oh.
But how is he?
Huh. Oh.
Man, John is just saving everybody when
Yeah.
they're in turmoil.
Now he's going to owe John his life.
Yep. He's going to grant him his wish. You may leave.
A lot of swords.
These belong to Fuji's father. They may not be much, but I'd be honored if he would accept this gift.
And give me my guns. Oh, and my men.
He has his one. He just wants his ship.
And my ship.
What's that sound?
あれよ
Oh, that's not the, that's not the town, is it?
Oh, landslide on the village.
Village, not town. God, I'm an idiot. Oh, no.
They're attacking. I thought it looked like there was an army moving in.
No, that's the
No, that's the
landslide.
landslide.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh.
Did John lose the crew after yelling at him? Like a double whammy?
Yeah, I bet that's
Oh,
what
he's gonna
what's
feel
happen.
even worse.
In the rock.
He's gonna get everything out of that garden.
Well, I'm glad he got the truth that the gardener spoke up saying that he basically wanted that.
That he was sick, so he'll do it.
And he's also learning more about their traditions and that the words have way more meaning than he thought.
Yeah.
お十への仰せの通り、不埒な患者目が暗躍しておったようでござる。
誰の家じゃ。年寄りの庭師でござりまする。
The gardener.
上次郎、万人の屋敷に仕えておりました。昨日死にましたが。運のいいやつじゃ。
This guy.
Or was that just a convenient ruse?
It's a convenient ruse, I bet. Well, maybe that place really is his, but
yeah,
the story.
Toranaga, I remember, said, find me a new spy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi.
Was that Kiku?
この度は世話をかけました石堂殿。私が江戸を出られたのは。
ご母堂様の無事のお戻り。
大老衆は一杯食わされたとも聞いております。
拙者が再び大老会議を招集し。
Oh, cut him off.
Yeah.
辛抱が足らぬことですまぬの。我が子の行く末を案じてしもての。
太閤様のお世継ぎにあだなすものあらば、この石堂、命をかけて。
しからば、もはや戦議は終わったと思ってよいのじゃな。
Oh boy.
What is going on? She's taking a pretty aggressive tone with him.
大老衆のお考え。しかと。
She decided to just take over.
Fair enough.
Wow. I'm gonna need some explanation on that.
A lot happened in this episode.
Over.
Well, I mean, they gave her backstory about her family and everything, but how does that give her power to overrule the council? Other than that, she was before the Taiko, or however they pronounce it.
She was.
That's what I don't get.
She was.
I think you're thinking of someone else there, Quinn.
She was the leader's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
The other guys were only supposed to hang out until the son was old enough to rule.
Yeah, until he was 16 or
so she
whatever.
wants to just fully take over.
He says, "All right, guys, enough politicking, kick rocks. I'm
guess.
in charge."
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense then. She's had enough waiting around for her son to turn 16 or whatever.
Because that was the thing too, is like she knows. I think she knows that he's full of crap too when he was saying, "Oh, I would defend his honor." It's like, no,
That's a good
I think
point.
she knows better.
Wow.
So that's why I think she just wants to take over at this point, which I do not.
Yeah, what a banger of an episode. I know we've highlighted the acting in this series, from day one, but the whole scene that Cosmo Jarvis had there with the gardener and the pheasant and the interaction with everybody, and even the dinner scene, to me, this really felt like this was a lot of John's episode. I think not only from the screen time, but because of the powerful scenes that he was in. Before we saw him, yes, he might have got a lot of screen time, but he was kind of being led around by the nose a little bit, kind of being told what to do. In this episode, it really felt like he was really given a chance to, not only with the powerful acting scenes, but able to really kind of deliver and grow as he is in the village here. So that was really good. And of course, we saw the seeds were planted that we originally thought would be a terrible thing, was starting war, ended up working out because now they have to come to them, and the council's even more in even more of a mess because now they can't decide who they should appoint. Everybody wants their own hand-chosen guy in there, so that's interesting how, it's almost they kind of were able to unintentionally sabotage the council yet again. And we saw, look, the one guy has leprosy, so how long is he going to be around for? You typically don't have a very long life expectancy, especially way back then with that type of disease. And the other guy had a little bit of a cough there.
Yeah, he was really coughing.
So, I mean, you never know how that could play out. This was only episode 5, so boy, if that council starts to fall apart. Now, granted, somebody decided they were tired of waiting for the council, so who knows if that even matters. But, yeah, another fantastic episode here. Just, man,
Yeah, I obviously love the part where they're having the sake battle, where they just are sitting there like, oh, really? Those small cups are for ladies in my country. We drink out of, and he just, throws his stuff out and just goes to town on that. And so that was kind of funny, so we were having fun with it, thinking maybe it was a bonding type thing. Well, then obviously we saw that it took a turn for the worse. I mean, he aimed his bow right at, Mariko, and so like we were just worried that he could misfire, but he did hit the right post outside. So even in his sake-driven state, he was still hitting the post,
and he couldn't even see the post. He was shooting through the paper.
Yeah, he was shooting through the wall, and then at the end of the episode, we saw, like they mentioned, was it last episode or 2 episodes ago, that how quickly the houses can go up, they can come down, but that's so they can rebuild quickly. And then we saw a landslide that pretty much, almost took out the whole village again. And so then you see the repercussions. So then hopefully then we see them rebuild really quick as well. So this was just a good episode, especially where, Toranaga's like, he knows about the spy. He knew about, his nephew was making some bad idea. Like, they're like, just throwing his nephew right under the bus. He was out having sake with him. I don't know where he got the idea to plant that in his head. Yep. Granted, when he did take out those guys, his face was in shock while the nephew was smiling in the background last episode. So this was just quite the episode. And then what a way at the end that, Teiko's mom is just like, you know what? I think I'm going to take over. Yeah. My husband, he was the leader. I'm done with that. How about I become the leader until he's old enough? So still, this show has been getting really, really, really good.
And somebody's going to owe John their life, too.
Well, yeah, that was awesome that John gave him his swords. And even though he knew the story wasn't anything, because that's what, Lady M told him, it still meant something from John to give to Toranaga.
Yeah, this episode rather focused really heavily on cultural differences and some of the cultural traditions and the way people from the West, kind of interpret the way they look at some of the old Japanese cultures and the way that they look at marriages, the way they look at traditions, the way they view death, and the way they view dying in a lot of regards as being an honor. How you went, obviously, sometimes I think superseding the timing of when you went, which we saw very early in the show. And this was even a thing up until, I can't speak for modern times, but even up until World War II, there you saw a lot of stories about Japanese soldiers choosing to take their own lives as opposed to capture. I was just refreshing myself on the name, the Battle of Saipan, in World War II, where the U.S. soldiers took an island in the Marianas, and they had a bunch of Japanese civilians, and instead of being captured, they call it we don't say the S word here on the channel, but take yourself out cliff, where they jumped off the cliff. It's more honorable for thousands and thousands of civilians, families, husbands, women, children, jumping off cliffs to their own death, because that was more honorable than being captured by the U.S. soldiers. And the Japanese had told their civilians that the U.S. soldiers would do horrible things to them, so that was a whole different story. But in any regard, these traditions of honorable deaths and things like that, of course, this is a period piece, but this happened all the way up until 80 years ago, and I certainly can't speak to how it is there now. But it's very hard for John to understand those, and I have to be honest, I didn't quite, and usually I consider myself a pretty, I usually read into these things pretty well. I didn't quite understand her comment about, focusing so much on freedom, you lose your own freedom. And I guess the thing that I can think about that is, like, maybe you lose sight of a true path in life if all you're trying to do is just flaunt and exercise your freedom. I'm free to do this, I'm free to do that.
Well, that if you're just constantly chasing something, you miss what's right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, kind of like that theory. Like, I'm free to go off here, I'm free to go off here. Yeah, you are, but maybe focus and have a bigger purpose. That's kind of how I guess my loose interpretation of that would be. But you know, and we've jokingly said on this channel, I can't even say how many times, well, that's, you know, maybe that's their culture, you know, when interesting things happen. And, you know, you try to be respectful of other people's cultures, but on the other hand, there's certain cultural traditions that I don't think we should just respect and say that's part of their culture, right? Like we're supposed to be very sensitive to, that was just their culture, or that's the way they did it. Well, smacking your wife because she didn't obey you, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be like, well, that was just Japanese culture at the time. You owned your wife. I understand that that's how it was, and I can look at a situation and say that's how it was. But I'm 100% with John on this, as I think most people are in today's day and age. Like, that might be your culture, and you're trying to, if that's your culture's bullshit. Like, it's not right. You can't just say, well, this is the way it's always been done. Well, at some point, sooner or later, that tradition, that culture has to be broken. I think it's important that John recognized that they want him to respect their cultures. You need to respect our culture. You're in our land. Well, if your culture is beating up your wives, shooting arrows past their face, and telling them that they're your property, well, your culture is bullshit. There's things that we can respect about your culture. Absolutely. Certain traditions, even the way that you look at death. But I'm not that there's anybody against John here, but I think we like to look back at certain cultures, whether it be, Japanese cultures or whatever, and say, well, this is just the way it was. And John is very much challenging that. And I love that he challenges their culture in this episode.
Well, especially when they had that whole talk about going to London and starting over. I mean, she was intrigued with that, as was John. That
She was intrigued with his culture, yeah. And I think, look, sometimes you allow yourself to, maybe step outside what you think your duties are and just kind of imagine and hope for a minute. And I think that was a good thing for her. And then she kind of pulled back. Does she mean that she doesn't ever want to talk to him again? That was kind of the joke. I don't know if it's going to, make the cut, but I kind of joked about, well, lots of us have been in relationships where somebody said, we're done talking, and then, well, just give it a bit. But I just can't say enough about the writing here, the acting. I forget which one of you guys said it really felt like this was John's episode. Yeah. But it really did. And for an actor that I got to be honest, I'm not familiar with this guy. To have a role like this as just I don't want to say breakout role, but just to see a new actor that is this talented and in a cast. Of course, we have some heavy hitters in this cast that we've seen before, but just an unbelievable performances.
I kind of want to touch base on John's words. What he thought was joking actually had consequences because of their culture, and they do at this time do what they were.
They take it literal.
Yeah, he said whoever touches die. John meant that. What I took as John meaning it as just I'm ha, right? But the crew that is there at this point in the episode, at this time, John should have known that anything that he's saying, and you may say I'm wrong in this, but at this point, I think John has gotten the hint.
3 weeks it's been. I think he would know by now, right?
Well, even just before then, everyone, when they're told to do something, they're doing it.
Yeah.
So John, I don't know if John accidentally said that or if he or was trying to come off as jokingly, or whatever the scenario was. Either way, John learned in this episode, anything he says has consequences because they're going to take it literally. And it was interesting with that earthquake on how we had Hero kind of go down with it. We lost quite a few men there, and John's first instinct was to immediately go down and save him. So I do think that's going to come back around to John. I just don't know how, but John is pretty much there every single time some kind of turmoil with these higher ups come into play. So John's been a team player for the most part.
Yeah, you remember going through the wall? He created the diversion with the guy.
The diversion. Some other instances too. With the dinner scene, I thought that was pretty impactful too, because it started off as we're gonna verbal joust a little bit, test each other as guys, see what's gonna go on, and then that happened into it kind of went a little dark. Some may say it was really dark, but I think it just went a little dark. And then, of course, the aftermath of him hitting his wife, which is uncalled for. And the way that John kind of went out there after him. Now, I'm sure if both gentlemen didn't have the sake in him, maybe something different might have happened, maybe. Or he probably still would have, apologized, but, with angst apology for what he did in his home, like he said there.
Yeah.
Again, I don't condone what he did to his wife. It's terrible. But in this instance of the storytelling, that helped. Didn't help. John, we saw a motivated John now wanting to do something about that, like you said, challenging the culture that they have there. So kudos to John on that for trying to challenge that, but he's not going to change that culture.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit here and there. I think we're kind of starting to see a little bit with his crew that's around the home, but even with the gardener, I'm glad she gave John... attempted to give him closure. I mean, he's still taking blame for it,
Right.
but she tried to give him closure and saying this, loosely saying that this is kind of what he wanted because he was sick, right? So I'm not. I still blame John for the action that happened because I don't know if then he'd step up and say, "Take me." I don't know, but that's it to me. Still on John. The son kind of getting. Smashed down a little bit.
Well, yeah, he kind of deserved
knocked down a peg or two.
A bit. Yeah.
Is much needed though because his dad, Hiro, is not wrong. And yes, I'm using real names. I know some of you hate that, but not trying to disrespect the character here. But he made it a great point. He's trying to teach him, and I think he's doing great at those teachings of, however he said all that. I don't need to rehash it, but
being influenced by people
yes,
who don't have your
easily
best
influenced.
intentions.
like 5 steps ahead of everybody
So
else. Right?
exactly. So again,
trying to instill that into the son.
Again, still fantastic story writing, storytelling from all these actors. I can only imagine what the next episode's going to bring because of that ending where it's no more politics. They answer to me. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this one. This one for me was much better than the previous episode. And there was barely any action in here, if you want to call it any action.
A lot of levity.
There was a good mix of drama and comedy at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of sake getting drank.
Unfortunately, what's crazy is a lot of the levity wrapped around that pigeon. We thought it was, or the pheasant. We thought
that
it
was going to be a
funny,
joke,
and it turned out to be. So they kind of took.
That was almost the main plot of this episode.
They took
in a weird way.
They took some of the levity they gave us, and it ended up being, a really serious plot.
Well, and was the gardener really the spy, or did they just make that up? I'm inclined to think it was made up. I'm inclined to think it was made up
because Toranaga said, "Go find me a new spy," and they happened to find a new spy.
How unlucky for him.
So, but he said he claims he was sick. So this was a lot of fun for the first half of Shogun. So now we get to start the back half and come on that ride. So for Diamond Dave, that's Appleton Oak, that's Mason.
Weird phrasing.
Yeah, I know, it was a little weird. And of course the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.
And even
it's a fun ride.
But him saying
it's a
that
fun ride.